Dear friends and global Unitalks family worldwide, welcome to this world's largest youth platform, which promotes youth to youth connections under the Belt and Road initiatives. This prestigious annual event will feature participation from over 175 countries and regions to enhance their communication skills and public speaking abilities. These youths from Silk Road countries will share their opinions and insights on a pressing topic, the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal SDG 2030. On this occasion, I want to thank all the contestants for their hard work and dedication who will shape this world and are poised to become its future leaders. Today, it's your first step towards your goal. I know that all of you are first time speakers and you have worked hard to get here today. Remember, there is no final defeat until you stop trying. Wish you good luck and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year 2026.
We can be. We must be
the first generation
to end extreme poverty.
The generation
most determined
to fight injustice
and inequalities.
The generation that saves the planet from climate change.
And this is how it will get done.
The global goals.
A 15-year plan
For everyone. Everywhere.
With no one left behind.
We will live in a world
where nobody
anywhere lives in extreme poverty.
Where no one
goes hungry.
Where no one
wakes in the morning
asking if there will be food today.
We will live in a world where no child has to die of
diseases we know how to cure.
And where proper health care
is a lifelong right for us all.
We will live in a world where
everyone goes to school.
And education gives us the knowledge
and skills
for a fulfilling life.
We will live in a world where all girls and all women have equal opportunities
to thrive and be powerful and safe.
We cannot succeed if half the world is held back.
We will live in a world
where all people can get clean water
and proper toilets
at home, at school, and at work.
We will live in a world where
there's sustainable energy for everyone.
Heat, light, and power for the whole planet.
Without destroying the planet.
We will live in a world where economies prosper.
And new wealth
leads to decent jobs
for everyone.
And we will live in a world where our industry,
our infrastructure, and our
best innovations
are not just used to make money, but to make all our lives better.
We will live in a world
where prejudices and extremes of inequality
are defeated
inside our countries
and between different countries.
Where people live in cities and communities
that are safe, progressive,
and support everyone who lives there.
Where we replace
what we consume.
Planet where we put back what we take out of the earth.
We live in a world that is decisively rolling back the threat of climate
change.
Where we restore and protect the life in our oceans and seas.
Where we restore
and protect
life on land.
The forests,
animals,
the earth itself.
With peace between and inside countries.
Where all governments are open.
And answer to us for what they do at home and abroad.
And the justice rules.
With everyone equal before the law.
Where all countries and we their people
work together
in partnerships of all kinds
to make these goals a reality
for everyone, everywhere.
These are the United Nations global goals
for sustainable development.
Let's get to work.
Let's make it happen.
Good day to everyone joining us from across the globe. We extend our respectful greetings to our esteemed judges, honorable faculty members, distinguished guests, dedicated organizers, passionate participants, and all audience members joining us today via Zoom. Your presence adds immense value to this international gathering. It is with a great honor and distinction that we welcome you to Global Unitalks International Speech Competition 2025 Day 2. On this platform, ideas are shared, voices are strengthened, and future leaders are shaped. Global Unitalks is the world's largest online platform that provides youth from Silk Road countries with the opportunity to showcase their public speaking skills and leadership qualities. They are mentored and guided by eminent professors and experts and are prepared to be outstanding speakers as we will witness today.
This competition holds special importance for young people. In a rapidly evolving world, the ability to think critically, communicate effectively, and speak with purpose is no longer optional. It is essential. Through platforms like this, youth develop confidence, leadership, global awareness, and the courage to transform ideas into action. Today is all about youth voices for global change.
Speech competitions such as this one do more than test eloquence. They nurture analytical thinking, strengthen public speaking skills, encourage innovation, and prepare young minds to contribute meaningfully to society. Today's participants are not just speakers, they are thinkers, problem solvers, and future change makers.
Allow us to introduce ourselves. My name is Tyree Chen, and I have the privilege of co-hosting this meaningful event with Mariam.
And I am Mariam. Together we will be guiding you through today's program as we celebrate youth voices, global perspectives, and impactful dialogue.
Today we witness the annual flagship event, Global Unitalks Speech Competition, where contestants from all over the world compete. The theme of today's competition addresses one of the most crucial challenges of our times. What role do youth have to play in implementing the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal, SDG, by 2030?
This topic reflects the intersection of innovation and responsibility. It invites young people to explore how artificial intelligence, when guided by ethics, creativity, and purpose, can become a powerful tool in achieving sustainability, equality, and global progress. I wish to invite Ms. Awishi and Ali Abdullah Arafat to deliver a welcome speech on behalf of Global Unitalks family.
A very good morning, distinguished judges, esteemed educators, respected guests, passionate speakers, and our wonderful audience joining us from across the world. It is both a privilege and an honor to stand before you today as we open the celebration of voices, ideas, and the transformative power of speech.
Indeed, Arafat, welcome everyone to this grand gathering of minds and hearts. Whether you are here in person or turning afar, we are here. We are so glad to have you with us. My name is Oishi, and together with Arafat, we will be your welcome speakers for what promises to be an inspiring and thought-provoking event.
Today is not merely about competition. It is about connection. It is about the stories we tell, the ideas we share, and the bridges we build through simple yet profound act of speaking and listening. We live in a world filled with diverse voices, each carrying its own truth, its own beauty, and its own unique perspective.
And that is preciously why we are here. In a time when the world can feel divided, events like this remind us of our shared humanity. Speech is not just about expressing oneself, it is about understanding others. It is about finding common ground while celebrating our differences.
Each one of us in this room and each one joining virtually brings a piece of our culture, our upbringing, our dreams, and our beliefs. And through platforms like this, we don't just share words, we share worlds. We step into someone else's shoes, if only for a few minutes, and see life through their eyes.
That is the true magic of dialogue. It transforms strangers into storytellers, listeners into learners, and moments into memories. Whether we are here debating, delivering a speech, or simply listening intensely, we are participating in something much larger than ourselves, a global conversation that has the power to shape minds and touch hearts.
I still remember the first time I ever spoke in front of an audience. My voice trembled, my hands shook, but in that moment I realized something powerful. My words matter. They could move someone, inspire someone, or make someone think differently. And that is a gift, one that every speaker here today possesses.
And that gift grows when it's shared. Over the years, I have seen how speaking and debating do not just improve our confidence or eloquence, they deepen our empathy, sharpen our critical thinking, and connect us with people we might never meet otherwise. This is more than a stage, it is a classroom without walls, a community without borders.
Today, we are about to witness an extraordinary display of courage and intellect. Our speakers have worked tirelessly, researching, writing, and refining their messages. They stand ready to share not just their thoughts, but a part of who they are. And in doing so, they invite us all to reflect, to question, and to grow.
Let us also take a moment to acknowledge those who make this possible. Our dedicated judges, our supportive teachers, our hardworking organizers, and every person behind the scenes. Thank you for believing in the power of youth voices and for creating spaces where they can shine.
To our speakers, whether you're a first-time participant or a seasoned orator, remember this, your voice is needed, your perspective is valuable, your courage in standing here today is all your courage in standing here already in your courage in standing here today is already a victory. Speak with passion, speak with clarity, but most importantly, speak with heart.
And to our audience, lean in, listen with openness. Cheer not just for the points made, but for the courage it takes to make them. Every round of applause, every nod of understanding fuels this beautiful exchange of ideas.
As we begin, let us carry with us a spirit of respect, curiosity, and unity. Let us celebrate not only the art of speaking, but also the grace of listening. Let today be remembered not just for who won, but for what was shared, what was learned, and how we grew together.
Without further ado, it is time to begin. May today be filled with powerful words, meaningful exchanges, and unforgettable moments. Let the event begin.
Let the event begin.
What an excellent speech by Ms. Aishi and Ali Abdullah Arafat. It was very insightful and meaningful. Now it is our honor to formally introduce our distinguished judges panel, whose expertise and leadership lend credibility and excellence to this competition.
We are deeply honored to have with us Professor Wallace, founder and architect of Global Unitalks. Let me take this opportunity to introduce Prof. Wallace to you. Other than the founder of Global Unitalks, he is also Director General of Silk Road Associations, a non-profit organization supporting the initiative of Belt and Road across the globe. Prof. Wallace made the student organization in 177 countries and regions in 6 continents, rejuvenating the youth of Silk Road countries through various educational, youth-to-youth connect, and cultural exchanges. We witness today the fruits of his tireless efforts. Prof. Wallace is also a renowned academician, a foreign expert in several countries. He wrote several books and research papers in the field of academic writing and the science of critical thinking and creativity. Professor Diana, Vice President, Global Unitalks, co-founder Global Unitalks, is responsible for the academic training and mentoring and has been a strong pillar to make Global Unitalks stand here today. Prof. Diana is a foreign expert at several universities worldwide. Professor Quinn, Chief Judge, Global Unitalks co-founder and an academician from Kenya, a professor of a renowned university, USIU, and the creator of Global Unitalks debate competition, and visiting professor in various universities in the world. Professor Amelia, Chief Judge, Global Unitalks, co-founder Global Unitalks, and an academician, language expert in Australia, and creator of Global Unitalks speech competition. Ms. Fushin Amanda, co-founder of Global Unitalks, Dean of the Belt and Road Research Institute, and a consultant with significant experience in the management of students worldwide. Mr. Ashish Trivedi, first winner of Global Unitalks speech competition and Belt and Road speech competition. Mr. Abid, judge, winner of Global Unitalks speech competition in past years. Mr. Mashiri, judge, winner of Global Unitalks speech competition in past years.
We sincerely thank our respected judges for dedicating their time, knowledge, and experience to evaluating and guiding today's speakers.
We would also like to acknowledge the tireless efforts of the organizing committee, coordinators, technical team, volunteers, and all participants whose dedication has made this international event possible.
Before we proceed, we kindly request that everyone observe a few Zoom etiquette guidelines to ensure a smooth professional session. Each speaker will present their 5 minutes live speech. After each speech, we'll open a live poll for you to vote on if you liked it.
All participants and audience members are requested to keep their microphones muted throughout the program unless instructed otherwise. We encourage you to show your support and appreciation by giving votes to the speaker.
We also request that all participants to remain active and prepared when it is their turn to speak, ensuring a seamless flow throughout the competition.
With these guidelines in place, we are now pleased to informally initiate the competition phase of Global Unitalks International Speech Competition 2025 Day 2.
Let us move forward into a session filled with insight, innovation, and inspiring perspectives from youth across the globe. Before we proceed to the speeches, we would like to explain the voting procedure for today's competition briefly.
At the conclusion of each participant's speech, a polling session will be launched on Zoom. This poll will allow eligible audience members to cast their votes in support of the speaker.
We kindly request that all audience members actively participate in the polling process when prompted. Your vote is essential in recognizing speakers who demonstrate clarity, creativity, and impact.
Please note that each polling session will remain open for a limited time. We encourage you to submit your vote promptly once the poll appears on your screen. You also have the opportunity to vote after the polling is over on the YouTube channel of Global Unitalks, as this event will be live broadcast.
To ensure fairness and transparency, we request everyone to vote respectfully and refrain from discussing poll results in the chat during the competition.
I appreciate your cooperation. With the voting process now clarified, we are ready to begin the competition.
We now officially commence the speech segment and the start of Global Unitalks International Speech Competition 2025 Day 2. So, without any further delay, let's meet our first inspiring speaker.
So our competition begins with a powerful call to action. We often hear that youth are the leaders of tomorrow, but what if tomorrow is too late? Joining us all the way from Kenya, bringing a vital perspective from East Africa, Ali Abdullah Arafat will challenge us to move from passive waiting to being active. Please welcome him as he presents his compelling speech. When you stop waiting, change starts happening. Ali, the virtual stage is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, respected judges and fellow participants, my name is Abdullah Arafat. When we talk about the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, we often treat them like distant ambitions, 31 phrases, 17 boxes, and a deadline called 2030. But if you strip away the formal languages, the SDGs are really about one thing, whether our future will be livable or not. And here is the uncomfortable truth. Youth are not just part of the solution, we are the deciding factor. Today, I want to speak critically and analytically about the role we as young people must play, specifically through something I feel deeply connected to: quality education. The first role of youth, refusing passive education. For too long, education has been treated as a one-directional pipeline where teachers speak and students absorb. But the world is changing faster than classrooms. If we keep on waiting to be taught everything, we will fall behind everything. We also have to be honest about something. Our current education systems are not designed to inspire curiosity. They are designed to push information. If we want real progress, we must change not just what we teach, but how we teach. Learning must become engaging, practical, and connected to real life. When education is interesting, people don't need to be forced to learn. They will take it up themselves. A youth-led push for creative teaching, digital learning, and a hands-on experience is not just helpful. It is essential for achieving quality education by 2030. Youth must redefine education by becoming active learners and not passive receivers. We must question outdated methods, demand practical skills, and push for learning that actually prepares us for real global problems. The second role, using our advantages. Honestly, let's be analytical here. Youth have two major strengths older generations can't replicate. We adapt quickly and we are digitally fluent. But these strengths mean nothing if we only use them for entertainment. If a young person can spend hours online, they can also use digital tools to learn new skills, teach others, create awareness, or build small projects that solve local issues. Our advantage becomes meaningful only when we turn ability into responsibility. The third role, turning personal experiences into community impact. Every young person has lived through a challenge, whether it's a lack of resources, a lack of opportunities, or a lack of guidance. Instead of treating these struggles as setbacks, we can convert them into solutions. A student who struggled with math can tutor younger learners. A youth who understands technology can teach digital literacy in the community. A motivated group can organize cleanups, tutoring clubs, and awareness workshops. These are not small actions but scalable ones. Small efforts that multiply when repeated by thousands of youth. The fourth role, accountability without hostility. Youth are often told you are the leaders of tomorrow, but tomorrow is too late. Our role is not to attack or blame older generations. It is to hold systems accountable with clarity, not anger. We do this by asking questions, presenting data, participating in community programs, and challenging broken practices, respectfully but firmly. Leadership is not about volume, it is about direction. The final role, refusing the comfort of excuses. It is easy to say, I am just one person, or someone else should do this, or fix it, or the SDGs are too big. But denying our role does not free us from its consequences. By 2030, we, this generation, will be the adults responsible for whatever state the world ends up in. So the real question is not, what role do youth have to play? The real question is, will we play it, or will we wait for someone else to do it for us? In conclusion, we the youth are not waiting for 2030. We are not waiting for permission, and we are not waiting to become older before we act wiser. Our power is not in age, it's in attitude. And when youth stop waiting, change starts happening. Thank you.
Thank you, Ali, for that profoundly impactful start. You reframed the entire conversation from what our role is to whether we will choose to play the role. One line that truly struck me was, our advantages becomes meaningful only when we turn ability into responsibility. That is the core youth's mandate for the SDGs. It's not about having power someday. It's about using the tools, the energy, and the perspective we have right now with purpose. All right, global audience, if Ali's call to action moved you, this is your moment to show support. We are now opening the live poll for his speech. Please check your Zoom window and cast your vote. The lesson to take home is clear. The future of SDGs isn't a distant date. It's the very next small project we start, the very next question we ask, the very next excuse we refuse. Leadership is direction, not volume. The energy of turning intention into action leads us perfectly to our next speaker, who focuses on breaking down one of the most persistent barriers to sustainable development.
So, our journey now turns to a foundational goal, building a world of equal opportunity. Our next speaker invites us to move beyond labels and challenge the silent barriers that limit potential. Joining us from Morocco, please welcome Aya Al-Hassouni with her vital speech, Gender Equality, Breaking Gender Rules and stereotypes. Aya, we are listening.
Welcome everyone, not as ladies or gentlemen, but as unique individuals, because today we're dismantling this very labels that often hold us back. And no worries, this speech will not be longer than your favorite Netflix episode. Today I'm really honored to speak about gender equality with a focus on gender rules and stereotypes and how youth can help achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal on gender equality by 2030. Gender equality is not only a global objective, it is a basic human value. It means giving every person, no matter what their gender, the same opportunities, the same respect, and the same freedom to reach their full potential. However, gender rules and stereotypes continue to limit people in their personal aspiration, social participation, and professional growth. Think for a moment about all the dreams young people have. Now imagine how many of those dreams never happened because of gender rules. From a young age, many individuals are told that they should or should not do simply because of their gender. The stereotypes shape expectations as who should be gentle, who should lead, or who should stay silent. These ideas do not reflect real abilities. These only reflect old beliefs that no longer feed this progress of our world today or the future. Achieving gender equality requires changing mindset, and this is where youth play a powerful role. Young people are the generation of open thinking, creativity, and courage. They are already proven that equality is not just a goal, it's a lifestyle that they believe in. Youth can support this in many ways. First, by changing stereotypes in daily life. When young people refuse to judge others based on gender, they create a more open and fair environment. Small actions like encouraging equal participation in school tasks, sport, help break long lesson barrier. And secondly, youth can promote education and awareness. Many stereotypes survive because people are not aware of their harm. Third, youth can support inclusive space. For example, SDG 5 remind us that gender equality is not only about fairness, it is about development, innovation, and social progress. A society grows when each person has the freedom to give their full potential. When stereotypes disappear, talent rise. When equality becomes normal, the future becomes more promising. As we look toward 2030, we must remember that achieving this goal is possible, but only if we work together. And youth are the heart of this mission. Today, almost 19% of people still hold some gender-based, and women continue to do 2.5 times more unpaid work than men. That facts remind us that change is still needed, and young people have the energy, open minds, and commitment to fairness to help close the gaps. So let us choose respect over judgment, ability over stereotypes, and unity over division. Because together we can build a future where every person is free to live with equal opportunities no matter their gender. And with that amount of wisdom, you have been a great audience.
Thank you, Aya, for that clear and courageous call to action. You reminded us that equality isn't just a goal, but a lifestyle built daily through our choices and respect. The live poll for Aya's speech is now open. Vote now if your message resonated with you. Let's carry this forward. When stereotypes fall, talents rise. That's how we build a SDG now. Let's welcome our next voice.
Moving forward, we now explore how fundamental shift in thinking can unlock economic potential on a global scale. Our next speaker reframes our most common daily tool, the internet, not as a distraction, but as an engine for development. Please welcome from Morocco, Asma Jal, who will present her visionary speech, New Mindset, Better Life. The impacts of youth internet use on economic development. Asma, we are ready to listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, respected members of this competition, welcome. I aim to discuss the pivotal role of youth in employing online tools and digital platforms to foster economic development, one of the targets of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Today's world is shaped by technology, more than at any time in history. Young people spend a large part of their daily lives online, and this constant connection is not just a habit, it's a remarkable opportunity. If youth use the internet with purpose, creativity, and responsibility, we can make significant progress toward building stronger and more sustainable economies. And when I speak about a new mindset, I'm not referring to a theory or a policy. I am referring to the youth themselves. We are the new mindset. Our way of thinking, our openness to innovation, and our deep connection to the digital world are what shape the future. The youth represent the shifts in attitudes, skills, and ideas needed to drive digital economic growth. In other words, a new mindset truly leads to a better life. We are living in an era defined by rapid digital transformation, often referred to as the fourth industrial revolution. This new reality has already changed how we learn, communicate, and work. Recent estimates show that 600 million jobs will need to be created over the next 15 years to meet global youth employment and employment demands. This challenge pushes us to rethink traditional economic strategies and embrace the digital possibilities that young people already interact with every day. Today's youth are considered digital natives. They grew up surrounded by the internet, smartphones, and social networks. This environment naturally shaped their imagination, innovation, and adaptability. The internet, therefore, is not only the space for social interaction, it's also a powerful tool for learning, skill building, and economic advancement. When young people direct their digital experience toward development, they become active creators of solutions rather than passive consumers of content. The internet offers unlimited access to knowledge, from online courses and research platforms to virtual classrooms and global professional networks. The young people can acquire the skills needed in the modern labor market. This includes digital literacy, entrepreneurship, communication, and critical thinking. This continuous learning process strengthens the workforce and contributes directly to national economic growth. At the same time, the internet opens new doors to employment and entrepreneurship. With only a smartphone and an idea, a young person can start a small online business, provide digital services, sell products internationally, or develop innovative applications. These opportunities break traditional barriers related to geography, education, or financial limitations. As a result, youth-driven digital entrepreneurship contributes to economic diversification. increased productivity, and sustainable development. Further, global initiatives such as UNICEF's projects to connect every school and every young person to the internet demonstrates the growing commitment to digital inclusion. When young people are digitally connected, they have the tools to participate in the global economy, share their talents, collaborate with others, and contribute to building more inclusive and resilient communities. Youth are not just the beneficiaries of the digital world, they are the drivers of the transformation. With a new mindset that values creativity, responsibility, and purposeful internet use, young people can shape stronger economies and more sustainable societies. The future of economic development does not depend on the technology alone, but on how youth choose to use it. The internet in the hands of youth is not just a tool, it's a force that can reduce inequality, create opportunities, and shape a better future for all of us. A new mindset will not only improve individual lives, but will shape a better world for all of us. And thank you so much for your listening.
Thank you, Asma, for reframing the internet as a tool for creation, not just consumption. Your point that the internet in the hands of youth is a force really captures our attention. The poll for Asma's speech is now open. Please vote. Let's remember, our screen time is a resource for SDG 8. Use it wisely. This leads us to our next speaker.
Next, we have a speaker who breaks down our global mission into 3 influential everyday roles, directly connecting our digital lives to local action. Please welcome Haj Muhammad from Morocco, who will present his speech, We Are the Change, Youth and the SDGs. Muhammad, over to you.
Najaha, respected teachers and dear students, before we begin, I want you all to take a quick moment and look at your own screen. Every face here represents something powerful, the power to make change. Now imagine this, a world without poverty, where every child can learn, and where our planet is green and healthy. That's the dream behind the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs. But 2030 is not far away, and progress is too slow. People often ask, what can one person do? I believe that's the wrong question we're asking. The real question is, what can we do together? Because students and teachers, we are not just watching history happen, we are writing it. Together, we can make the SDGs real in our schools, our cities, in our world. Our first role is as digital voices. We live in a world connected by technology. Huisha, TikTok, Weibo, Instagram. We can use these tools to share ideas and inspire others about the SDGs. A short video about recycling, that's SDG 12. A creative post about saving energy or reducing waste, that's SDG 13. Even a school blog about kindness and equality, that's SDG 10. Think of how quickly one video can go viral in China. One post can reach thousands in a day. So imagine if that post spreads hope instead of gossip. We all have a voice. Let's use it wisely. But online awareness isn't enough. We also need real action in our daily lives. Our second role is to be problem solvers. The SDGs might sound global, but they start locally, right here in our schools and neighborhoods. We can look around and take small actions that make a real difference. Are students wasting food in the cafeteria? That's SDG 2, Zero Hunger. We started a Take What You Need campaign. Too many plastic bottles on campus? That's SDG 12, Responsible Consumption. We started a bottle recycling station. Feeling stressed or lonely? That's SDG 3, Good Health and Well-Being. We create a peer support circle. In many Chinese schools, students already organize green weeks or clean campus days. Those are great examples of local SDG actions. We do not need to wait for big organizations. Change starts with us. Our third role is as the menders, people who speak up for what is right. We are the ones who will live with the results of today's choices. We must keep asking questions, offering ideas, and pushing for progress. Ask school leaders to use less paper or switch off the lights when not in use. Encourage students' councils to support social and environmental projects. Even suggestions show that young voices matter. If students everywhere said, "We care about sustainability," schools and companies would have to listen. Our strength isn't in our age, it's in our courage and unity. So, what role do the youth, have in achieving the SDGs? We are not bystanders. We are digital voices who inspire others, problem solvers who take action, and demanders who drive change. The SDGs are not someone else's job. They are our shared mission. Teachers, you are our guides. Students, you are my teammates. The goals are clear. The clock is ticking. The question isn't can we do it? It's when will we start? Let's not be the generation that only talked about change. Let's be the generation that made change possible. Let's be the generation that won. Thank you.
Thank you, Muhammad, for that clear and actionable blueprint. You perfectly framed our roles: digital voices, problem solvers, and demanders. It's not about it's about turning our online presence and local awareness into real pressure for change. The poll for Muhammad's speech is now open. Cast your vote if you see yourself in these roles. Let's remember, the SDGs are a shared mission, not a distant assignment. Now let's hear another perspective on technology and access.
Our next speaker addresses a critical gap that can make or break the sustainable future we're discussing: the gap between the connected and the disconnected. Please welcome from Morocco, Aya El-Kanan, who will speak on the digital divide, technology access, and the inequality. Aya, you have the floor.
Hello everyone. Today I want to talk about something that affects millions of lives, and you might not even notice until you stop and look around. It's called the digital divide, and it's one of the biggest challenges standing into achieving reduced inequalities, one of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Now let's imagine a situation. Two students, same age, same potential, and same dreams. One opens his laptop, connects instantly to the Wi-Fi, and starts studying. The other is going around searching for Wi-Fi to use, or maybe he's just sharing an old device with several family members. Both students have the same potential, but not the same opportunities. And this gap is the digital divide. The digital divide is more than just who has a device and who doesn't. It's about who can access to information, who can learn new skills, and who can communicate, and who can't. Today, technology is not a luxury. It is a foundation that education, jobs, healthcare, and even daily communication are built on. So when people lack access to digital tools, they are not just missing gadgets. They are literally missing opportunities. Do you know why technology access matters more than anything? Let's think about our own life for a moment. So much of what we do happens online: studying, sharing ideas, exploring new interests, and discovering opportunities. But what happens to the people who cannot join online classes, cannot apply for digital jobs, and cannot build the skills needed for the future? They fall behind, not because they are less capable, but because they are less connected. And when this happens on a large scale, inequality grows even faster. The digital divide affects many groups, such as students who cannot join online lessons, people who want to learn new skills but lacks devices, communities where internet is slow, unstable, or too expensive. They are not just disconnected by choice, but they are disconnected because of reasons they cannot control. And that makes inequality deeper, stronger, and harder to overcome. How it leads to inequality first. Here's a small cycle for you to understand. No access, limited learning. Fewer opportunities. Lower income, even less access. It repeats, it grows, and it creates a world where someone's future depends not on their talent, but on their connection. The good news is that us young people can help close this gap. We can volunteer in programs that teach digital skills, encourage schools to offer device loan programs, create awareness through projects, videos, or camps, use creativity to build ideas that makes technology more accessible, and many other solutions. Youth are capable, innovative, and connected, and that makes us powerful drivers of progress. Brighten the digital divide means working together to create more affordable, reliable internet services, community spaces with free device access, schools that support students with technology needs. These steps bring us to reducing inequalities everywhere. And lastly, the digital world is growing every day, and everyone deserves a place in it. When we bridge the digital divide, we give people access to education, opportunities, and a better future. Let's choose to be a generation that turns technology into a bridge of connection, a bridge of opportunity, and a bridge of fairer, brighter world. Thank you.
Thank you, Aya, for that clear and urgent call. You showed us that this divide is not about choice but circumstances, and how it creates a cycle in which people fall behind because they are less connected. The poll for Aya's speech is now open. Please vote. Your message is clear. Technology must be a bridge to opportunity for everyone. Now, let's welcome our next speaker.
Our next speaker calls on us not just to use power, but to be the power source for our planet's future. With a dynamic vision for clean energy and digital action, please welcome Ayan Aim from Morocco, presenting her speech, Unlocking Youth Power, the Spark for a Sustainable 2030. Aya, the stage is yours.
Hello everyone, to the dreamers, the builders, and everyone who believes we can power a better future. Every single one of us understands the urgency of a low battery warning. Could you see the battery icon right now? We all know that feeling. We all know that race to find the charger before the screen goes black. Now, look at our universe. Look how our planet is showing us a low power warning. Our systems are straining, and for a lot of us, the screen is already dark. As a youth, we are not just a passive users waiting for a plug, because we are the power source itself. We call that the switch generation, that can build a world powered by clean energy, where the charge is constant. All of us, just like the spark that will electrify a sustainable 2030, because every sustainable goal depends on affordable and clean energy. To ignore this is like to say to build a house without a cent. Our generation question is very important. We ask, what potential can we unlock as a youth? The single shift changed everything. We look at the sun and no longer see it just like a ball of fire, but a battery waiting to be connected to. As well for the wind, it's not just a moving air, but an invisible force that can power a hospital. We see a young person in a remote village and see not a victim of energy poverty, but a future doctor whose mind is a valuable resource. Affordable and clean energy is more than being just a final goal, because it's the master key to education, to health, and also to equality. Because we are not just fighting for megawatts. More than this, we are fighting for a self-determination of every person in this earth. So, how do we build this as a youth? They call us the digital natives. They usually say that we are the solutionists. Our power is not just in our members, but in our methods. We build like the young engineers in Kenya who creates microgrids for a whole village. We choose like consumers consciously supporting sustainable business. Also, we can speak the language of future. We can use data to prove what's happened. And we can code to build a new platforms which will help us to participate in change. We are a distributed network, which give us more and more power and make us unstoppable. We are not just building a technology, we are building a new common sense. Every action we take has a secret superpower, an efficient effect, or we can say the ripple effect. When a single student solar project becomes a campus initiative, that campus becomes a city model, because we are not just creating a singular solar because we are not just creating a singular solar planner. We are not here to create a blueprint for change that spread across our connected world at the speed of an idea. In addition to, we carry the why in our DNA, which makes us always curious to know, then create, and finally achieve a goal. We are inviting the world to look into a better future. So, what's our legacy? Our legacy for 2030 will be a live dashboard where everyone can see our impact in this real time, a world where you can see clean energy flow from every coast of the globe, and we will be the one who will code it, build it, and then power it. The energy transition is happening now, and our leadership must happen now because you are not too young for this. Trust me, you can do it. It's never too young. So, at this time, it's your turn. The ball is in your court. The installation for version 2030 is ready. The download is ready, but the software cannot install itself. It needs you, your own spark, your own energy. Unlock your power, because a sustainable 2030 will not be built by a single great leader, but by millions small sparks igniting until the whole world is lit. The key is in your hand. Unlock your power. Be the spark. Together we are the spark. Thank you for being part of this.
Thank you, Aya, for that electrifying and visionary speech. You redefined us as the switch generation and showed that our potential is the master key to a future where clean energy powers everything. The idea that we are millions of small sparks ready to ignite the world is a powerful call to action. The poll for Aya's speech is now open. Please vote if her spark ignited yours. Your closing question remains with us. Will we be the generation that builds the future? Now, let's continue our journey with our next speaker.
Next, we shift to a conversation about building the future through business and innovation. Our next speaker illustrates how technology has become the great equalizer for new ventures. Please welcome from Bangladesh, Isra Jan Aishi, to present her speech, Entrepreneurship and Tech-Driven Startups. Israt, we are ready to listen.
Honorable judges, respected teachers, and my fellow participants. Today, I'm very glad to be here talking about something very important to our modern world. I'm going to talk about entrepreneurship and tech-driven startups. Let me start with a simple question. What do you see when you look at a problem? An obstacle or an opportunity? At its heart, entrepreneurship is about seeing opportunities. It is the act of identifying a problem and having the courage to create a solution. Entrepreneurs are the innovators and the dreamers who dare to build something new. In the past, starting a new business was a heavy lift. It required significant money, connections, and physical space. But today, the game has changed. We live in a digital era where a laptop, an internet connection, and a good idea can be the only seeds needed to start a global company. Technology has opened the doors, making entrepreneurship more accessible than ever before. This has led to the rise of tech-driven startups. These aren't just business. They're revolutions. They use tools like artificial intelligence and cloud computing to solve problems in a smart and scalable ways. Think of Uber, which transformed transportation without owning cars, or Airbnb, which changed travel without owning hotels. They proved that with technology you can disrupt entire industries and create entirely new models. The role of technology is to be a great equalizer. Platforms like Shopify for e-commerce or Stripe for payments allow anyone anywhere to build and compete globally. It has democratized the ability to create. And who are the natural champions of this new world? The youth. We're the digital natives. We don't just use technology, we speak its language. We are not just participants in this digital world, we are its architect, its most demanding users. Our role is pivotal in three key ways. Let me explain. First, we are the bridge builders. We connect the online and offline worlds seamlessly. We see how an app can solve a community issue or how social media can mobilize support for a local cause. We build tech that serves humanity, not replaces it. Second, we are the fearless experimenters. Unburdened by the way things that have always been done, we are free to prototype, to pivot, to fail first. This agility allows youth-led startups to adapt at the speed of internet, turning challenges into features and feedback into fuel. And third, we are the divers of purpose. Today's young entrepreneurs aren't just chasing profit. We are passionate about impact. We launch startups focused on mental health, climate change, and social equity. We demand that technology be ethical, inclusive, and sustainable. We are building business with a heart, proving that value and value can go hand in hand. Across the globe, young people are creating apps to combat food waste, platforms to make education accessible, and fintech solutions for those traditional banks ignore. We are proof that you don't need decades of experience to have a world-changing idea. Of course, the path isn't easy. There is fierce competition and the constant challenges of funding, but our advantages are powerful. Our role as bridge builders, our culture of fearless experimentation, and our unwavering commitment to purpose. We can connect with a global audience authentically through the platforms we build our communities on. In conclusion, the landscape of business is being transformed, and standing at the forefront are the bridge builders, the experimenters, the purpose-driven creators, the youth. We are not just preparing for the future, we are actively coding, designing, and building it. We see problems as a puzzle waiting to be solved, and we have the tools, the temperament, and the tenacity to solve them. So, let us continue to embrace this role, to build with both innovation and integrity. The future is not just bright, it is being shaped by our own hands, our minds, and our unwavering belief that we can build a better world, one startup at a time. That's all about my speech today. Thank you all for listening me, and have a nice day. Goodbye.
Thank you, Israt, for that clear and insightful analysis. You showed us how technology democratizes entrepreneurship, turning a laptop and an idea into a global business. The poll for Israt's speech is now open. Please cast your vote. I will now leave the stage to my friend Ayman, who is going to take over with the second part of the segment. Thank you.
So, kicking off our next session, we have a speaker who reminds us that steering the ship towards 2030 doesn't require a title, just action. Please welcome Yaya presenting her speech, Youth Action for UN SDGs by 2030. Yaya, we are ready to hear your vision.
Good day, everyone. Today, I want to talk about one simple thing. What young people like us can do to make the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals real by 2030. They are just a global action plan to deal with the things that count, like ending poverty, cleaning up the planet, and making sure everyone gets a good education. And to be honest, we youth aren't just along for the journey. We are the ones steering the ship. First of all, we are the people who turn tiny efforts into huge progress. You don't need to be a scientist or a politician to help. If you save water at home, That's helping the Sustainable Development Goals for clean water. If you help a kid who can't pay for classes with their studies, that's moving the goal of quality education forward. Third, we are the future leaders with fresh ideas. The Sustainable Development Goals are for the world we will live in for the rest of our lives. We don't just follow old rules. We join youth groups, ask our schools about sustainability, and tell leaders what we need for a better world. Our new ideas make sure the Sustainable Development Goals work for everyone. The 2030 deadline isn't that far away, but we have got energy, passion, and the courage to try new things. Every time we act, speak up, or care, we are making progress on the Sustainable Development Goals. We are not just the youth of the day. We are the ones who will build the sustainable world the United Nations is working for. So, let's keep doing small things, keep speaking up, and keep leading the way, because the Sustainable Development Goals don't just need someone to help, they need us. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Yang, for that direct and empowering speech. You framed our roles perfectly, turning small efforts into huge progress, being the voice that gets heard and stepping up as future leaders with fresh ideas. The point that our social media is a superpower for making the SDGs personal is a powerful takeaway. The poll for Yang's speech is now open. Please vote and show your support. Your core message is clear. We are not just on the journey, we are steering the ship. Now let's welcome our next speaker, Mao Juda.
Continuing with our focus on practical action, our next speaker outlines 3 clear pathways for youth contribution. Please welcome Mao Juda, presenting his speech, Youth's Role in Achieving UN Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. Juda, you have the floor.
Youth's role in achieving UN Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I want to talk about the role young people can play in making the UN Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs) come true by 2030. At first, I thought the SDGs were big plans for adults, but now I know young people's small daily actions can make a real difference. I believe we can contribute in 3 personal simple ways. First, we can be learners who share small skills. I follow eco-friendly bloggers on social media to learn easy tricks, like turning plastic bottles into pen holders. Then I start a weekly SDG trip season in my class. Last week, I taught everyone to use vegetable washing water to water plants. Now 3 of my classmates are doing this too. Sharing small, doable skills is easier than talking about big goals, and it lets more people join in. Second, we can take tiny daily actions with warmth. I do 2 small things every week. Carry a reusable water bottle so I don't buy plastic ones, and send my old storybooks to kids in rural areas. Last month, I sent 5 common books and got a handwritten thank you note back. That note made me realize small actions aren't just tasks. They are ways to connect with others and making someone's daily better. Then third, we can use simple youth tools to spread ideas. We don't need to make apps. We can use short videos or online lists. My friend made a 1-minute TikTok video about how to sort trash, and 2,000 people watched it. I made a shared online list for my class. We write down the small SDG actions we do every day, like save the electricity today. And now our action list has 42 entries. These easy toys let young people spread ideas fast without big effort. Some people say young people are too small to change the world, but I disagree. The SDGs aren't just the global goals. They are the future of our lives. Young people's power is not in doing big things, but in turning big goals into things we do every day. In conclusion, young people can be skill sharers, warm doors, and simple spreaders for the SDGs. We don't need to wait. We can start with a bottle, a book, or a 1-minute video today. Let's turn our small actions into a big, warm change. Thank you all.
Thank you, Junhao, for that structured and actionable speech. You've clearly defined our roles as learners and educators, takers of small daily actions and users of technology and creativity to solve problems. The idea that millions of small steps become a powerful force is a motivating call to start right where we are. The poll for Junhao's speech is now open. Please cast your vote. Your closing argument stands firm. We are not too young to make a difference. The SDGs are our future. Now let's welcome our next speaker.
Our next speaker frames youth not as a future promise, but as the present day force turning promises into reality. Please welcome Chai Yuhan, presenting her speech, Youth, the Driving Force Behind UN SDG by 2030. Yuhan, over to you.
Good afternoon, respected judges and fellow students. Today, I stand here to talk about the vital role young people play in turning the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals into reality by 2030. The SDGs are a promise to our planet and all its people, promises of a fairer, greener, and more prosperous world. And youth, we are not just the audience of this promise, we are the architects and builders of it. First, youth are innovators and problem solvers for sustainable development. We grew up in a digital age, armed with creativity and fresh perspectives that challenge old ways of doing things. Many young people design apps to track carbon footprints, develop low-cost renewable energy prototypes for communities in need, or create social media campaigns to raise awareness about food waste. These small but powerful innovations tackle subtopics like environmental sustainability and responsible consumption, core parts of the SDGs. Our willingness to experiment and take risks let us turn big, complex goals into actionable, local solutions. Second, youth are advocates and educators for change. We have a unique voice in the digital world, where we can spread knowledge about the SDGs far and wide. Through social media, school clubs, or community workshops, we teach our peers, families, and neighbors about issues like gender equality, quality education, and clean water, or critical SDG subtopics. When we speak up, we inspire others to join this movement. We turn passive awareness into active participation, making sustainable living a mainstream value rather than an abstract idea. Third, youth are community builders and collaborators. The SDGs require global cooperation, and young people excel at connecting across cultures and backgrounds. We organize volunteer drives to plant trees, build community gardens for food security, or tutor children to promote inclusive education. These grassroots actions address subtopics like sustainable cities and communities, zero hunger, and quality education. By working together, we show that the SDGs are not just global targets, They are local actions that start with us in our neighborhoods and schools. Some may say we are too young to make a difference, but age is not a barrier to impact. Every small step we take, whether it's reducing plastic use, volunteering, or learning about sustainability, adds up to a big change. The SDGs are our future, and we have the energy, passion, and courage to shape it. By 2030, we will not just be the next generation, we will be the generation that delivered on the promise of the SDGs. Let us keep innovating, advocating, and collaborating. Let us be the proof that youth are not just the future of sustainable development. We are its present. Thank you.
Thank you, Johan, for that powerful and compelling speech. You positioned us perfectly as innovators and problem solvers, advocates and educators, and community builders and collaborators. Your statement that we are not just the future, we are the present is a powerful claim on our agency today. The poll for Johan's speech is now open. Please vote and show your support. Your closing vision is clear. By 2030, we will be the generation that delivered on the SDGs promise. Now let's hear from our next speaker.
As we approach the final part of our session, our next speaker positions youth as the active architects, not just inheritors of our sustainable future. Please welcome Huisha, presenting her speech, Youth's Role in Advancing the UN Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. Huisha, we are ready for your insights.
The host, are you here? I just wanted to make sure who's missing so far, who did not made a speech, because we lose the sequence. Can you have a look, please? Mariam?
Now is the turn for Huisha, and after is Zhu Yingi.
Okay. No, I think
now
we made some mistake. We make a mistake. Yeah, we did not go with the sequence we invited. So we need to see who's missing. Ma Junhua has not spoken, right?
Already did.
Ma Junhua had done, yes. Wang Yangyang did, right?
Yeah, Wang Yangyang is the first Chinese one.
Okay, and then Chang Yuhan did. Zhu Yingyin did.
What?
Zhu Yingyin.
No, he is the last speaker. And before him is Huisha, which is now. Like.
Okay. Thank you.
Good morning, dear judges, honorable teachers, and fellow students. Today, I stand here to explore the pivotal role the youth play in turning the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals from vision into reality by 2030. As the generation that will inherit the world shaped by these goals, we are not just passive beneficiaries, but active architects of sustainable progress. So, this is not merely a topic for discussion, but an expression of a shared hope for our collective future. First, youth are drivers of innovation for sustainable problems. Equipped with digital literacy and creative thinking, we harness technology to address pressing global challenges. From developing apps that track resource consumption to designing low-carbon energy prototypes for local communities, young innovators translate abstract SDG targets into tangible actions. Academic research led by young scholars also fuels this progress. Studies on circular economy models or climate-resilient agriculture lay the groundwork for evidence-based SDG implementation. proving that youth's intellectual curiosity is a driving force for sustainable development. Second, youth act as advocates for behavior change in communities. We bridge the gap between global goals and local life by raising awareness through campus campaigns, community workshops, and social media outreach. For example, organizing zero-waste initiatives in schools or promoting equitable access to education for special groups embedded SDGs principles into daily routines. Our ability to connect with peers across diverse backgrounds also fosters a culture of inclusivity, a core value of the SDGs, by encouraging mutual respect for different perspectives on sustainability. Third, youth are collaborators in global and local partnerships. We actively engage with educational institutions, civil society organizations, and grassroots groups to align individual actions with collective SDGs efforts. Student-led sustainability clubs, for instance, partner with local businesses to promote sustainable consumption, while youth networks facilitate cross-cultural exchanges that share best practices for achieving the goals. This spirit of collaboration ensures that SDGs implementation is not isolated, but a unified global movement. Ladies and gentlemen, the countdown to 2030 has begun. But this is not a source of pressure, it's a measure of hope. The role of youth is not to wait for the future, but to define it. We do not wait for change, we create it. One idea, one action, one partnership at a time. As we move forward, let us continue to embrace our roles as innovators, advocates, and collaborators. For the SDGs are not just a blueprint for the future, but a promise we owe to our planet and to generations to come. That's all. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Huisha, for that insightful and well-structured speech. You powerfully defined our roles as drivers of innovation, advocates for behavioral change, and collaborators in partnership. Your closing statement that the SDGs are not just a blueprint, but a promise we owe to our planet beautifully captures the depth of our responsibility. The poll for Huisha's speech is now open. Please vote and show your support. You reminded us that the 2030 countdown is a measure of hope, not pressure, that we are here to define the future. Now let's welcome our final speaker for today.
For our final speech today, we have a speaker who reminds us that the future is not inherited, but built with different choices we make right now. Please give a warm welcome to Yingi, presenting Youth as Change Makers, the triple role in shaping a sustainable future. Yingi, the stage is yours.
Hello everyone, respected judges, dear friends. The theme of my speech is how youth can play a role in achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. We are often told this is our future to inherit, but I believe it is our present to shape. We are not passive bystanders waiting for a future to arrive. We are the architects, the engineers, and the builders. Our power lies in three roles. First, we are translators. We turn abstract goals into concrete action. Every time we conserve energy, choose sustainable transport, or stand for inclusion, We are writing a line in the story of change. These small acts, like countless streams, are already flowing into the river of progress. Second, we are innovators. Faced with outdated systems, we don't just complain, we create. Whether it's developing clean tech in a lab, launching a social enterprise, or coding an app for community recycling, we are redefining what's possible. We see problems not as dead ends, but as invitations to innovate. And third, we are connectors. We live in a broadened world of ideas. Through digital platforms and global networks, we share solutions, build alliances, and amplify our collective voice. Our connectivity is our superpower. It turns local action into global momentum. The road ahead has challenges, but the essence of youth is to see obstacles as opportunities. We stand at a pivotal moment. The year 2030 is not a distant deadline. It is the sum of the choices we make today and every day after. So, let us be the generation with both vision and action. Let us look at the stars, but build the path beneath our feet. Let us dream boldly, but also take responsibility bravely. The story of our future is not pre-written. It is being drafted now, by you and by me. Every thought, every decision, every act of courage adds a sentence. The pen is in our hands. The question is, what will we write? Thank you.
Thank you, Yingi, for that poetic and powerful conclusion. You framed our identity perfectly. We are the translators, innovators, and connectors. Your metaphor that the pen is in our hands to write the future is a stirring call to action. The poll for Yingi's speech is now open. This is the final voting opportunity, and with that, we conclude our session of inspiring speakers. The energy for sustainable change is clearly unstoppable. To continue this momentum, we now pass the virtual stage to our hosts, Ms. Aya and Mohammed Haji, who will introduce the next group of brilliance voices. Thank you for your time. Over to you guys.
What an incredible journey of ideas we have had so far today. From the first speaker till now, we have seen reflection and we have been prepared. This shows us that youth are prepared and are prepared to lead our future to a better path.
I totally agree with that. I'm really proud of each one of you guys. Before we begin with our next round of participants, let's give a huge thanks to my fellow teammates, Miriam and Ayman, for their tremendous efforts. And now, it is my great honor and privilege to welcome you all to this Global Unitalks, world's largest international speech competition, Day 2. Let me start with a quote. They say, a society grows great when old men plant trees in whose shade they know they shall never sit. Today, in this meeting, the proverb comes to life. We are here because the youth are not just waiting for the shade. They are the planters, the nurturers, and the architects of forests yet to be.
Absolutely. Our speakers today are proof that the energy, innovation, and the moral courage of young people are the most potent catalysts for achieving the 17 global goals. They carry not just the promise for today, but they carry the action plan of tomorrow.
So to begin with, I wish a very good evening to the distinguished international juries, the founder of Global Unitalks, Professor Wallace, the global youth contestants, Global Unitalks worldwide family, and the cheerful audience present here. And now, it is great honor to introduce the brilliant minds who share their perspectives in this speech competition. There were 450 plus applicants from all around the world. Finally, only 75 speakers and visionary young people were selected, who are here today and are turning the SDGs from global goals into local actions.
Starting this competition in a world that needs clean energy, our first contestant offers a brilliant spark of hope. He reminds us that every long journey begins with a single courageous step. As he speaks on life on land, guardians of our natural heritage, let's give a warm welcome to Amro from Yemen.
A notable judge, esteemed faculty and fellow students, we stand at a pivotal moment in our shared history. Looking toward the horizon of 23, the ambitious vision of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals presents blueprint for a more just and thriving world. For all today, I wish to focus on two of these interconnected goals: the preservation of life on the land. And I pose the question, how better bridge we the gap between this vision and reality than the world youth? With the young people are not merely passive observers of the future. We are the most dynamic and active architects. Our role is not to wait for change, but to build it, particularly in this two verticals area. Our contribution can be viewed through three key lenses, as ambassadors and community integrates and unwavering advocates. Life on land, guardians of our natural heritage. Our plants, biodiversity is under threat, but youth be its strong defenders. CDG 50 offered urgent actions to protect forest, hold desertification, and restore ecosystem. How? By adopting sustainable practice in our daily life, reducing plastic use, planting tree, or shopping eco-friendly products. But we can do more. Imagine young science development green, moreover through awareness and advocacy, individual process, a unique ability to raise awareness. They can use social media platform that disseminates information about the importance of biodiversity. Additionally, in the fields of science and investigation, students research represents a wealth of knowledge. They can practicable in science research projects, volunteer work, and community initiatives. Field work is the essence of change, starting with organizing campaigns to preserve parks, because change begin with the individual. Therefore, academic institution must provide the necessary space and resource for research and innovation. Technologists or artists using their voices to raise awareness about conversation, but collaborating with the communities, we can promote sustainable agriculture, protect indigenous space, and ensure that our land. Finally, we are the resistance advocates and the moral consequence. The 23 deadline requires unwavering momentum. We hold the determination to keep these goals in the public eye through social media, campaigns, university forums, and baseball entities. We can hold stakeholders accountable and demand ambitious action. Our voices remind the world that these are not optional aspiration, but essential commitment to human dignity and planetary health. We advocate for policies that support both economic justice and environmental protection, understanding that you cannot have one without other. And thank you.
Thank you, Amro, for your incredible speech. You made it really clear to us that we need to start taking care of our environment to stop pollution and leave a healthy and green planet for our future generations. Please vote for this speaker if you like his speech.
Up next, we have an outstanding speaker ready to challenge our thinking and inspire us with their solutions to a better climate. Please welcome Rashid Annas, also from Yemen, who will be talking about climate change.
Think back to summers you remember from your childhood, hot, yes, but predictable. There were breezy evening, cooler night, and a rhythm to the season that felt stable. Compare that to now. Hot wave is stretching for days, sometimes weeks. Nights stay warm long after sunset. The air feels sharper, the air feels heavier, the sun feels sharper, and even short walk outside can drain your energy. This intensifying pattern is not your imagination, is one of the clear signals that something fundamental is shifting. The change in our daily weather opens the door to a larger issue we call climate change. So what is climate change, and why, as the generation of this era, need to be fully aware of it? Imagine the Earth as a thermostat, once that's used to stay within a reliable range. Over time, that thermostat have been nudged upward. You can think the Earth is rabid in an atmospheric blanket, and have been thickening that blanket with heat trapping gases. It's like you overheat after too many layers. The Earth is overheating under too much insulation. Climate change is not a theory that are floating around, that are floating in the abstract, is a grounded in evidence stretching back decades. If we look back in time, we see signs of the problem beginning in the Industrial Revolution. That's a clear signal that there's a clear evidence that our carbon emission, that is one of the cause of climate change, is the main driver of this problem. Also, ice cores, satellite readings, temperature records, 3 rings also point to the same story. The planet is warm rapidly as humans burn more coal, gas, oil, clear forest, and expanded industrial agriculture. So our ordinary routines, like driving everywhere when we don't need to, wasting electricity, consuming more than we use, eating fast food, and buying fast fashion that travel thousands of miles, amplify the problem. One person's habit may seem small and trivial, but amplified by millions, they literally shift the entire energy balance of the planet. If we continue in this way, the extreme we are living through now will feel mild compared to what's coming. So, what do we need to do to tackle or alleviate this problem? The fundamental step that we really need is accountability and responsibility. And to raise our responsibility, we need to fully understand the seriousness of this human crisis. And yes, it is a human crisis. Climate change is not an environmental crisis or a problem. It is a human one. Poverty, mortality, mental health challenges, economic damage, all are partly consequences of climate change. I can go on and on listing the problems that is partially caused by the climate change. So the more you understand, the more you read about this problem, the strongest your drive becomes to contribute to a solution. So it is important to have this responsibility. So having responsibility is naturally leading to a mindset shift, which is our next step. So we need to change a bit of our mindset. Real changes begins when you stop seeing this as someone else's problem. It's ours. When the understanding or when seriousness becomes clear, responsibility still feels like a burden and starts feeling like a calling. One mental trap, however, is especially dangerous, is like the belief that, oh, my individual actions doesn't matter or doesn't have influence or doesn't have impact. That belief freezes progress, and removing that belief is essential. Individual actions matter not because they are huge in its own, but when they are combined, they build momentum, change normal culture norms, and create pressure on life systems to change. The third step is the power of personal. This is where our handprint begins. Basically, you need to reduce your carbon emission as much as you realistically can. choosing a reusable bottle of water over single-use plastic, be mindful of your energy consumption, unplugging devices, or turning off lights when they are not in use, take public transportation when possible. Over time, these habits feel normal and sustainability will become a part of your daily life. But personal choices and actions are strong, but however, not sufficient. So we need our voice to reach bigger systems. That's lead us to the next step. Look for people, tools, and community. Surrounding yourself with like-minded people keeps motivation alive. Their different skills amplify your impact. We can use technology and our social platforms to find such people and create the community that really build the community that really care about us. After forming that and finding that people, we unlock something even powerful, which is the power of our social force. This must be our strongest tool. Our voice, when informed, consistent, and grounded in evidence, has influence. Our role is to be an educated advocate. And we can speak to local businesses or community leaders, or we can use our platform to spread accurate information. We can organize tree planting drivers or e-waste campaigns and workshops in our neighborhood. We must hold ourselves and others accountable, but not with being defensive, but with a persistent and constructive dialogue. We are the bridge between awareness and real action. In conclusion, the role of youth in the climate action for 2030 is to be the architecture of a new standard. We move the conversation from fear to solution, from footprint to handprint. It starts with our personal choices, but it becomes real with our collective voice. We are not just the leaders of tomorrow or of 2030. We are the change makers of today. So look at your hand, see its potential, and let us leave our handprint, green handprint in the world as a mark, not as a mark what we leave behind, but a promise that we are actively building together. Thank you.
What a fantastic speech and insight into climate change, which is very important for human existence and for caring for Mother Earth. If you like his speech, please vote for him. The voting is in progress.
Fantastic. Let's keep this momentum going. Our following presenters have prepared a powerful message for us all. A big virtual round of applause for Selma from Morocco, who will remind us that our cities are the heart of the SDGs and the youth is their pulse.
Hello, esteemed ladies and gentlemen, honorable judges, and fellow participants. It is both a privilege and an honor to stand before you today to delve into a topic that resonates deeply with our present and future. Today, I will address a very important question. If cities are the heart of the SDGs, are youth the pulse? To begin with, let me present a very striking reality. By 2030, the very year we're pledged to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, nearly 70% of humanity will call cities home. And these very cities serve a purpose far beyond simple habitation. They are crucibles where innovation happens, where ideas collide, and where the impact of every SDG, including education, energy, equality, and environment, is felt most intensely. Getting cities right means accelerating progress across all 17 goals. And if we create sustainable urban environments, it will have far-reaching implications, like when we lower emissions or enhance safety and accessibility in cities, we simultaneously foster advancements in health, employment opportunities, and social equity. All of this might sound like distant promises, but in reality, empowering our cities isn't just an option, it's our most promising strategy to get the SDGs back on track. A truly sustainable smart city will tackle poverty through inclusive economic opportunities and also advance education through accessible learning spaces, and promote health through clean environments and ensure gender equality through safe public spaces, and confronts climate action through innovative infrastructure. Cities are quite literally where global ambitions meet local realities. However, this transformation cannot happen in isolation, as cities are not just built of merely walls and roads, they are shaped by the very people who inhabit them. And it is the human element, particularly the energy, creativity, and urgency that young people bring that truly breathes life into them. This is where we must pause and reflect critically. How can we strengthen institutional support for youth-led urban initiatives, and how can we embed youth perspectives at the very core of our long-term urban planning frameworks? Actually, recently some research on sustainable smart cities revealed that technology can magnify this impact, and artificial intelligence and data analytics and smart systems are actively reshaping how we manage energy, transportation, and resources. However, true progress truly lies in balancing innovation with equity and ensuring our cities are not only efficient but are also inclusive. This is where youth come into play. Their active engagement is a key player in technological integration, environmental sustainability, and social equity, which are all crucial elements that we need. And you are digital natives, as we know, who understand emerging technologies intuitively, and at the same time they're among the most vulnerable to the impacts of climate change, which fuels their sense of urgency in advocating for environmental action. Actually, the diversity within youth communities ensures that smart city solutions don't accidentally create new forms of exclusion, as we must absolutely avoid any form of digital divides and inequalities. In conclusion, if we accept that cities are the heart of the Sustainable Development Goals, then yes, youth are their pulse. Our role as young people is not just to inherit the cities of tomorrow, but to actively shape them today, and hold on to the firm belief that the future will be better than today. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Selma. The ideas are already flowing. As Selma mentioned, taking care of our cities isn't just about one or two SDGs, but all of them. And it's our role, the youth, the pulse, to achieve that. Now, let's hear from a group with a passionate call to action. If you like his speech, please note the speaker.
Now, let's invite our next speaker. Everyone, welcome to Saba from Jordan. Her topic is about how youth can combat the addiction to anything that is not good for them, which is so important, especially in this age of social media and games.
Honorable judges, esteemed guests, and respected audience, good evening. Let me tell you a short story of young, full of passion, full of dreams, Ryan. Ryan's type of person that you cannot help but smile at. His smile makes people around him fall in love with it. He's a bright student, knowing how smart and good student he is. His parents always tell people how much they are proud of him. This young man had passion for football. He always wanted to be a famous football player. He's social, he's surrounded by friends, he's loved. He was doing well until people around him started noticing that he was going out less until he's not going out anymore. The very sport he once loved, the field where he felt most alive, now was a place he actively avoided. His academic performance was failing until he eventually dropped out. The young man who was known for his charming smile and vibrant energy was gone, leaving behind a tired-looking shell of his former self, isolated and struggling with anger issues. His friends, teachers, and family once held such high hopes for him, but now he's simply miserable. What do you think about Ryan's story, and what invisible force could cause such a bright man to deteriorate so completely? Dr. Gabriel Mate once said, addiction is a disease of isolation that drives people into themselves and away from others. Do you think it applies to Ryan? Addiction was and still one of humanity's fiercest enemies. It creates a compulsive need for a substance or a behavior, forcing individuals to seek it even when it destroys their health, relationships, and life. Addiction is giving everything for one thing. And in our digital world, we are seeing a rise in new behavior addictions, such as online shopping addiction, smartphone dependency, endless scrolling in short video forms, and gaming disorder, which Ryan saw as an escape door from stress, not realizing that the other side was leading him to an even deeper hole. His story is not a tragedy, it is a map. It shows us the warning signs and leads us directly to a critical global mission, the Sustainable Development Goals (SDG). Our compulsive goal to 2030 is to ensure healthy lives and promote well-being to all and all ages. It is the very heart of SDG 3, the third goal, good health and well-being. Combating addiction is not a side issue, it is essential to achieve this goal. It is how we protect our potential, and it's how we as a youth we can ensure a sustainable future. So I ask you, how many Ryans are in our community and what we can do? The answer lies not in fear, but in communication. Prevention starts with us. As a peers, we can be the first line of defense. It means having the courage to reach out and say, I am here, and I noticed you, and I am here. As a community, we can build a net safety. It means creating a space where we're talking about stress and mental health as normal. As individuals, we can become the source of light by educating ourselves, breaking the stigma, and choosing compassion over judgment. Ryan's story is not just a story of defeat. It is unfolding, and we as the next generation can help write the future by choosing communication over silence, action over indifference, and hope over despair. Let's make sure every Ryan knows that his story does not end in the dark, but it can be brought back into the light. Thank you for listening, and thank you for your time.
Thanks, Nusayba, for your excellent speech and guide to the youth of this world. It was truly an inspiring speech. Dear audience, if you like her speech, please vote for her.
Amazing. Next, we have a team eager to share their research and heartfelt on this topic. Let's support Kenza from Morocco, who will share her thoughts about how youth are the heartbeat of global change.
Honorable judges, respected teachers, and my fellow students. Hi, my name is Kenza, a first-year international business bachelor student from Morocco, and I'm currently studying at Nanjing University of Aeronautics and Astronautics. And today, I stand before you to speak on a topic that is not only relevant, but urgent, the role youth have to play in implementing the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. My subtopic captures the essence of my message. Youth are the heartbeat of global change, and truly we are. When we talk about the Sustainable Development Goals, 17 goals, to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure prosperity for all. It is easy to think they belong to world leaders, policymakers, or international organizations. But let us be honest, the success of CDGs depends on us, the youth, more than on anyone else. Why? Because we are the generation that will live with the consequences of today's decisions. We are the generation that brings energy, innovation, creativity, and courage to challenge the status quo. Let me explain our role through 4 powerful dimensions. The first one, youth as innovators and problem solvers. Today's youth are the most educated, most connected generation in human history. Technology is our second language. We hold in our hands the ability to create solutions that did not exist 10 years ago. Whether it is creating low-cost water filters, building apps that support mental health, promoting renewable energy in rural areas, or using drones for agriculture. Students and young entrepreneurs are already transforming communities. The CDGs require innovation real, ground-level solutions that make life better. And who is better positioned to innovate than the young minds sitting in classrooms, universities, and labs across the world? Youth are not waiting for change, we are designing it. The second one, youth as powerful voices and advocates. We often hear the phrase, young people are the leaders of tomorrow. But I challenge that. We are also the leaders of today. Our voices shape opinions, influence communities, and mobilize action faster than any political speech ever could. Through social media movements, campus activism, community volunteering, and global campaigns, young people have proven that they can turn local issues into global conversations. When youth speak, the world listens, not because of our age, but because of our passion, and the CDGs need this passion. They need us to raise awareness, question injustice, and demand accountability. The third one, youth as community builders. Change doesn't always begin in parliaments or boardrooms. Sometimes it begins with a simple action, like teaching a child to read, planting a tree, organizing a cleanup drive, tutoring classmates, or helping families understand healthcare options. The CDGs come alive when implemented locally in our universities, neighborhoods, villages, and cities. And youth are the heartbeat of community action. The last one, youth as the vision of the future by 2030. The world will look very different. Many of us will be professionals, policymakers, parents, scientists, business leaders, and educators. The habits, values, and decisions we adopt today will shape the world tomorrow. If we embrace sustainability now, choosing renewable energy, supporting fair economies, respecting diversity, and protecting ecosystems, these values will carry forward into every workplace and community we influence. So, what can we do today? There is 5 actions. The first one, educate yourself. Use your talent. Volunteer locally. Hold leaders accountable. And the last one, lead by example. My conclusion is, youth are the heartbeat of global change because we carry within us the courage to imagine a better world and the determination to build it. The United Nations may have created the CDGs, but we are the generation that will make them a reality. Thank you.
This is incredible energy we got from you, Kenza. You made us realize that youth, with their minds and courage, have the ability to bring about fundamental change in our world, achieving far beyond the SDGs. Thanks to technology, their brilliant young minds, and many other factors. Our following speakers are ready to contribute their vital piece to today's puzzle of ideas.
Now, please welcome Hadader from Bangladesh, who will deliver a speech on digital activism and awareness campaigns, a compelling topic and a very relevant in our society today.
Hello everyone. First of all, thanks for giving me this opportunity to speak here. Today, I'm going to talk about a powerful and modern tool that young people use to change the world, digital activism and awareness campaigns. In today's world, almost everyone uses the phone, computer, or social media. This gives young people a huge opportunity to share ideas, raise awareness, and encourage others to take action. Digital activism simply means using digital tools like social media, websites, videos, and online platforms to bring attention to important issues and inspire change. Let me explain why digital activism is so important. First, social media spreads information very quickly. In just a few seconds, a message can reach thousands or millions of people across the world. This makes it easier for you to speak up about problems like climate change, gender inequality, mental health, bullying, or poverty. A single post, hashtag, or short video can start a big conversation and make people more aware of what is happening around them. Second, digital activism gives young people a voice. In the past, only leaders or powerful people could influence society, but today, any young person with a phone can speak up, share their thoughts, and make their voice heard. Many youth activists become famous because they shared their ideas online. This shows that age does not matter. What matters is the message and the courage to speak out. Digital activism also helps connect people from different countries. When young people share posts, create online groups, or join global campaigns, or meet others who care about the issue, they exchange ideas, support each other, and plan activities together. This creates a sense of global unity. For example, climate activities from many countries work together online to plan events like Earth Day or Global Climate Strikers. Technology brings them together even they never meet in person. Another important point is that digital activism is low cost. Not everyone has money to organize big events or start organizations. But with a phone and internet connection, youth can still start powerful campaigns. They can design posters, write posts, make videos, or create hashtags without spending anything. This makes activism accessible to everyone, not just those with resources. Digital activism also increases awareness. Many people do not know how certain people until they see them online. For example, campaigns about mental health help people understood that it is okay to ask for help. Campaigns about women's rights show why equality is important. Campaigns about climate change teach people how small actions matter. When youth share educational content, more people learn, understood, and support the cause. Let me give a few examples of digital activism. Hashtags like hashtag climate action, hashtag me too, and save the planet become global movements because people share them online. They help bring attention to injustice, discrimination, environmental damage, and the need for change. You used videos, stories, photos, and live streams to show what was happening. This forced governments, organizations, and communities to listen and take action. Digital activism can also support local communities. For example, youth can use social media to promote a school project, share information about a batch cleanup, raise money for charity, or help someone in need. Online platforms make it easy to collect donations or gather volunteers. Even small actions can create big impact when shared widely. However, digital activism also comes with responsibilities. Youth must make sure they share true and accurate information. False news spreads quickly online and can cause confusion. It is important to check facts before posting. Respect is also important. Activism should not involve online bullying, hate speech, or attacking others. Real change comes from positive communication, understanding, and cooperation. Another challenge is digital safety. Young activists must protect their privacy and personal information. They should avoid sharing addresses, passwords, or private details. Safety should always come first. In conclusion, digital activism and awareness campaigns are powerful tools for today's youth. They help young people raise their voices, share important messages, and inspire positive change. Through social media, websites, and online platforms, youth can spread awareness, educate others, and build global movements. Digital activism proves that you don't need to be rich, famous, or powerful to make a difference. All you need is passion, a strong message, and the courage to take action. Thank you.
Thanks to Hadader for your incredible insight and excellent speech. Dear audience, huge thanks to Hadader for his heartfelt speech. If you like his speech, please vote for him.
Joining us all the way from the beautiful mountains of Nepal.
Someone who embodies the very spirit of breaking barriers and building bridges. Please give a tremendous round of applause for Pisha from Nepal, presenting Breaking Barriers, Building Equality.
Good morning, everyone. Today, I'd like to discuss an issue that is deeply rooted within our communities, gender inequality and how it intersects with the fifth Sustainable Development Goal. Sexism presents itself as not a singular, standalone issue, but a web of complex issues that intertwine to create a patriarchal society. Gender equality is often referred to as a policy topic, a development issue, but at its heart is a similar concept. Everyone deserves the same respect, opportunity, freedom, regardless of gender. SDG 5 explains the importance of equity and fairness among those in our society and how crucial it is to maintain order and uphold justice. And yet, for millions of girls and women, this is not the case. UN Women estimates that more than two-thirds of almost 700 million illiterate people consists of women. Women work 15 months to make what men make in a year average. They're also far more vulnerable to domestic violence, retroviruses, poverty, and malnourishment. Girls are still being taken from school to go home, to work, to marry early. Women are still paid less for the same work. They are given the message that their ambitions are too big, that their roles are predetermined, and that their voices don't matter. Even today, in many places, girls still have to work twice as difficult to get half the credit. Gender inequalities are not always dramatic. They can be found in the ways we communicate with girls, in the expectations we set for them, and for the opportunities that are denied to women. But gender equality is not a women's issue, it's a human issue. It impacts the way our families grow, society evolves, and nations thrive. When one half of our population is suppressed, we all go slower. Equality amplifies education. When girls stay in school, literacy rises, child marriage falls, and communities thrive. Educated girls transform into empowered leaders, women who lead and inspire. Equality accelerates economies. When women work and earn freely, nations grow powerful. More women in the workforce means more ideas, more productivity, and more development. Equality makes our societies safer. When women are respected, violence falls. When women lead, communities thrive. Equality elevates not just individuals, but the world around them. To achieve SDG 5, we need to act with awareness, action, and attitude. We must start by seeing the problem, learning to recognize discrimination, whether it
I think we got dropped out from the internet.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, give me a moment. I think there is a Zoom hitch up.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. Yeah, give me a moment. Let me see what went wrong. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Very
teacher,
clear.
we can hear you.
Okay. Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So let's continue. Thank you for the interruption.
Voices and how we challenge stereotypes, even simple ones. Imagine a world where every girl goes to school without fear, where every woman earns what she deserves, where leadership is not limited by gender, where equality is not a dream but a lived reality. This is the world SDG 5 envisions, and this is the world we must build together. Let us become the generation that doesn't just discuss inequality, but actually achieves it. A generation that understands that empowering women doesn't diminish men, it strengthens humanity. A generation that recognizes when women rise, families rise, community rise, and the world rises.
Thank you, Preacha, for this heartfelt speech. And now for our final speaker, a voice that bridges ancient traditions in a dynamic future, all the way from Morocco, from this land of breathtaking contrast, where history whispers from every corner, comes a powerful testament to modern innovation.
Please welcome Yasmin, who will show us how this rich heritage fuels the bolt of ideas of a new generation. In her talk, Youth and Innovation.
Ladies and gentlemen, respected teachers and dear students, it's a honor to speak today about a topic that represents hope, creativity and progress, youth and innovation. As we continue working toward the Sustainable Development Goals, it's become essential to recognize the unique role that young people play in driving positive change. Youth are not only the leaders of tomorrow, they are active contributors to sustainable development today. Have you ever realized that you possess the most powerful factory in the world? What if I told you that we are no longer just user of technology but creator of it as well? Are we simply the TikTok generation, or are we a generation capable to refining or redefining the meaning of innovation? So today I'm here to answer this question. Yes, we do indeed possess the strongest factory in the world, our minds and our ideas. Young people today view the world with fresh eyes, free from assumption and limitation that might influence older generation. This allows them to imagine possibilities that others may overlook. Innovation begins with curiosity, and youth have abundance of it. When students explore new ideas, experiment with different approaches, and engage in critical thinking, they lie the foundation for meaningful and influential innovation. Today's young also have the ability to transform any idea into reality through technology. They can design new products, improve industrial process, and create innovative solutions for global challenges. The human mind is the most powerful machine, and the energy of young people is the driving force that keeps this machine running tirelessly. Modern youth are programs designed app developers, creators of advanced robotic, and founders of startups that have the potential to change the world. Every new idea has the ability to become a product or a service that benefits others. This is why today's youth are not only consumers of technology, they are engineers, innovators, and active agents of change. So many believe that innovation is limited to advanced technology or scientific invention. However, innovation is far broad than that. It includes creative solution is education, in education. So community development, health awareness, and environmental protection and social inclusion, and a student who invents a new way to reduce waste on campus is an innovator. A young person who develops a method to enhance well-being among peers is also an innovator. Every meaningful idea, no matter how small, contributes to build better and more sustainable future. Innovation also contributes significantly to the personal growth of young people. When young engage in creative problem solving, they learn how to overcome challenges, adapt to unexpected situation, and remain resilient in the face of difficulties. Their experience strengthen their character and prepare them for both academic and professional success. So today's our role as a young youth is to pioneers, to innovation creators, thinkers and problem solvers, not merely the TikTok generation as some may claim. We have the ability to transform obstacles into opportunities and make innovation a way of life, and through this mindset we can contribute greatly to achieving the sustainable development goals by the year 2030. Finally, let's be creative in our innovation, and we work together to shape a future built to sustainable development. And thank you.
What an unforgettable conclusion to our competition. Every idea shared today is a testament to the power of voices and the courage it takes to stand up and speak out.
Ended from digital activism to climate action, from breaking barriers to protecting our planet. This speech have reminded us that every change begins with a single voice, a single idea, a single person willing to make a difference.
Absolutely. While tonight's competition may be ending, the journey of these ideas is just beginning.
We also want to extend our deepest gratitude to our judge, our dedicated organizers, and to you, each one of you, our wonderful audience. Thank you for your energy and for listening with an open heart. Your presence here, it's what makes this a true community. And now it's my privilege to invite the founder and the architect of Global Unitalk to deliver the concluding remarks and to share his feedback on today's event. Please welcome with a big round of applause, Prof. Dr. Wallace. The stage is yours.
Thank you, lovely host. And today you have shown your hosting ability being the first time host. I'm very impressed. Good evening to all Global Unitalks members and organizers and esteemed judges and professors, and especially invitees from overseas universities, students, boys and girls, and our lovely audience. I take this opportunity to congratulate all of you for the 20th anniversary of Global Unitalks, which was started by a few students in the year 2005. A humble beginning, holding speech competition in the university. In the last 20 years, Global Unitalk is now in thousands of universities in 177 countries and regions over 7 continents, which demonstrates the youth power, and social media and digital connectivity. Global Unitalks had an incredible journey, and all this credit goes to the Unitalk members and the mentors and professors who donated their precious time to shape the youths from various Silk Road countries worldwide. Global Unitalks is for the students, of the students, and by the students. It's a free platform, and students from all around the world join here to share their ideas, their insights, and options for the global development. Today, the topic, the role of youth in achieving the United Nations SDG 2030, is very important for the future of the world, where these youths need to be contributors and live in and protect the Mother Earth. We had 427 applications till the end, and out of that, we have 166 speakers who spoke from the different countries and universities offline. And finally, 86 speakers spoke online in these 2 days. This makes Global Unitalks achieve another milestone, the world's largest competition held so far in the world. Today is also a momentous day, as we all have witnessed the speakers have dedicated themselves to improving the communication skills, public speaking, and leadership enhancements. Their incredible work and knowledge, insights, and views are being shown very well, and all the speakers are age grouped around 17 years old. And they are all first-time speakers. They have toiled diligently for many days to deliver their speech. Dear students and speakers, this competition organized by Global Unitalk was designed to recognize your hard work and prepare you for the future leadership. The process you went through today has equipped you with critical thinking, articulation, research, and conflicting resolution skills, which are crucial for your personal and professional growth. It improves your critical thinking skills, improve articulation ability, improve your research skills, enables you to think quickly, help you to learn resolution of conflict, brings in you a greater empathy, prepare you to have emotional control, let you find meaning in complex situations, improve your presentation skills, allow you to have a broader view of the world, and of course, help you to learn how to conclude your thoughts. Remember, this kind of competition is not for sharing, it's not just about winning or showcasing your skill. It's about developing critical thinking skills that are essential in your daily life. Critical thinking can help you make well-reasoned arguments by questioning the evidence supporting a conclusion or stance. It encourages you to be curious about new ideas while maintaining skepticism, fostering a healthy attitude towards questioning. It even helps you become humbler because, let's face it, you're not going to be right all the time. Dear speakers, please remember that the speeches unblock old patterns or habits of thinking. It allows you to think non-linearly. It enables empathy. Furthermore, it connects you to yourself. Have you ever experienced that feeling when you cannot get the words to leave your mouth or get them out quickly enough? Speaking and presentation can help you become master at explaining several topics you learn in your life and in your class. During the speeches, you may not agree with some arguments you were assigned, but empathy will allow you to understand the belief of those you disagree with. Remember that empathy is a critical life skill, nonetheless, as it helps you improve your interpersonal relations professionally and personally. Speaking teaches you how to manage your emotions, a valuable skills. It helps you thinking out of the box, prepare you to take on any challenge, no matter how challenging it may be. With this, I wish you all the best of luck in the future endeavors. You guys are fantastic. And in my eyes, all the speakers performed extraordinarily well today. All are winners in my eyes. Good luck, and I wish you happiness and success every day in your life. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year 2026. Have fun, guys. Now
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Yeah, to the host, please.
Thanks a lot, Professor, for your excellent speech, guidance, and feedback. We assure you that we will follow your guidelines and directions for the rest of our lives and make you proud.
Now is the opportunity to invite the closing speakers to give the vote of thanks on behalf of Global Unitalk. Please welcome Ms. Pisha and Rafin, who will deliver the vote of thanks. Please give them a big round of applause.
Greetings to everyone who has decided to join us on this productive afternoon. The past 2 days, we witnessed brilliant young minds step forward with commendable ideas, passion, and determination. Throughout the competition, each speaker reminded us why the SDGs exist in the first place. They've shown us that SDGs are not just merely documents written on a paper, they are real commitments made by the global community. I'm sure listening to our participants today has given us all hope that our generation is not waiting for change, we are ready to create it. Before I go further, let me take this moment to express my heartfelt gratitude. To Professor Wallace, the founder of Global Unitalks, thank you for building a platform where young voices can grow, be heard, and be celebrated. None of this would have been possible without your efforts. Thank you for your mentorship, guidance, and support for every participant. I'd also like to thank other equally important people, Professor Diana and the entire jury panel, for their unwavering dedication into making the event a huge success. Thank you to all distinguished hosts, guests, and supporters who made this event possible. And of course, my deepest appreciation goes out to our participants. Each one of you demonstrated immense righteousness by speaking up about issues that truly matter. Your powerful words reminded us that progress begins with awareness, and we all admire your courage and ability to lead the next generation. We're all immensely proud as you've showcased your creativity and leadership, and we hope you can continue to take steps to turn your passion into something tangible. As we close, I want to remind you of one thing. Change begins when you want it to happen. Thank you once again for your passion, your ideas, and your commitment to building a better world. I'm sure today's competition has awakened our competitive spirit, but I'd like to remind everyone that this platform exists as an educational space meant to help us grow, learn, and collaborate. I hope all of you have used this opportunity to fuel your personal and academic development regardless of the final results.
Honorable judges, respected teachers, and my dear participants, today's competition has not only been a stage of speaking, but also a wonderful journey of ideas, confidence, and learning. Every speaker who stood here proved one thing: voices do have power to change thoughts, to inspire minds, and build a better future. I sincerely thank the organizers for arranging such an amazing platform where we had the opportunity to express ourselves. Now, dear audience, your attention, your patience, and your appreciation made the event more meaningful. Let us continue the spirit of learning, questioning, and discovery. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day ahead. Now, with a great honor, I invite our mentor and guide, Professor Diana, to deliver the vote of thanks. Thank you and congratulations all the participants.
What's an
Thank you.
excellent
Yeah, please. Thank you.
What's an excellent closing speech and vote of thanks from Pisha and Rafin. May the inspiration from this stage not fade when the lights dim. Let's carry these ideas forward.
Let them challenge us, guide us, and empower us to become the guardians of our shared future.
Thank you all and good evening. With this, we conclude the Global Unitalks Speech Competition 2025. Wish you all Merry Christmas and Happy New Year 2026.
Now, I would like to invite Professor Wallace, who will continue forward the competition. Mr. Wallace, the floor is yours.
Thank you, lovely host. You know that we have juries from all around the world in different time zones. So maybe all the juries will not be available to present today, but they will be watching this recording live telecast on YouTube and also on various other platforms, and who will be judging you and who will be giving scores to you. Let me invite one of the representative of the Global Unitalks judge panel and representing students, Mr. Abid, to give his thought today on judging this particular competition. He himself was winner of Global Unitalks in past years, and we are proud to invite him today to be one of the judge on behalf of the student community. Abid, the floor is yours, please.
Thank you so much, Professor. Am I audible?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you, thank you. So, Professor, first of all, I would like to say that I'm really honored to have been working with you for like the past 2 days, as the judge. I've been seeing like all these different speakers and I'm genuinely impressed. For today's speech competitions, I would like to say that I am really delighted to see like so many of the newer faces here, like most of the people participating today are like our freshmen, the new students who have come today. And the fact that they decided to take this initiative of involving themselves with Global Unitalks this early on puts a smile on my face, really, because this shows that like they know what's ahead of them and they're preparing for it, rightfully so. Like me personally, I'm a postgraduate student, and I have noticed that almost every single week I have to present. Like there's some presentation coming up, some research I have to work on, and like right now they're doing this, they're participating in these competitions, and I understand now. Literally, like I have been doing this since my bachelor's, and now I know that nothing that I practice for goes in vain. So of course, I'd like to end this speech of mine by just saying that practice always makes perfect. So the more you put yourself through these programs, the more experienced and the more relaxed you will become. So yeah, thank you so much, Professor, for inviting me here today and yesterday too.
Thank you. I believe that these students who presented today, they're just 16, 17, and by the time they will reach your age, they will be really great. I think this is the first foundation milestone they have crossed. They crossed the barrier of fear. The most fear a human being faces in his life is speaking, If they qualify here, they will certainly be a successful individuals in academic and professional life in coming years. Thank you so much with this. Thank you, Abid, and all the juries and all the participants of Global Unitalks. Wish you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Bye-bye. See you again next year. Until then, goodbye.